What is the deal, beautiful people?
I am Tuan.
My name is Ramon.
Modestly. Blackberry Passport.
Passport is what it's called.
And this is actually the size of a passport wallet.
Yeah. It's literally the size of a passport.
I don't know if they intend. Did they intend on?
I'm sure they probably did. I'm pretty sure they did. So, kudos to Blackberry for still trying.
Yeah.
They refuse to disappear silently into the night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're fighting. So, what is the big deal with this guy? It's a square smartphone. Literally, the displays. Square.
Look, I don't know why this is a surprise to anyone, because Palm Pilot, old Windows, they were all square devices. The original Blackberries, they all had square resolution displays.
Right.
Now, people have adopted this candy bar offset screen display. It takes up most of the device. Like, that's what I wanted. Remember when we used to have the conversations, bigger screen, bigger screen. So, they've taken it back to Blackberry, and Blackberries minus this weird keyboard.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they always had square. All the bowls and the curves, they were all square screens.
That's fine. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't understand what people's big deal.
I know. I think the device is dope simply because it's unique in today's world.
Right.
It doesn't look any less functional because it's a square. I think when I was watching videos of it, the only downside to the absolutely square resolution was videos.
Yeah, because
videos had that
black bars,
which is not a bad thing, because anyone that owns any TV of significant size, you get used to black bars. That's just part of the territory.
Yeah,
that's just cinematography. Period. Like,
right.
Whatever.
It's a way to. It's kind of a way to create that widescreen. Look.
It does. Yeah, exactly. So, what size is the display?
4.5.
Okay.
I mean, and that's 4.5 this way, because it's a perfect square. So, oh God, like my 30 hours battery life. I think that, like, on standby, I'm sure they're coming up with these numbers on standby.
Possibly.
I would like to know what it's like on running but I mean, as the video stated, you getting days of work done.
Yeah. Hey, traditionally Blackberry's batteries, God.
Yeah.
I mean, way back in the day, I had a curve. I mean, I've had literally every Blackberry throughout the course of my career.
You didn't have a Bold, sir.
I had a Bold.
Did you?
Yeah, I had a Bold. I had a few of them. But I think specifically the curves with the ball.
Yeah, the trackball.
Those things used to last like a week on a charge.
Yeah.
I remember those things being monsters.
Yeah. I took my Bold. I was like one of the latest Bolds with the touch screen.
The trackpad.
Right. And it had a touch screen.
But it didn't have a trackpad as well?
It had a trackpad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like, son, that it must have went. I took it to Boston, and I don't think I must have fell asleep drunk because I didn't charge it.
Yeah.
Like a couple of days, and it was still charged. It was like still. I'm like, yo,
Blackberry,
die.
Yeah, Blackberry's on it.
Yeah.
So they also to fill that void, and here's something I think is very dope that they did the first time around was they allowed access, Blackberry, to the Android Play Store.
Right.
Not all apps will work, but certain apps, the most important ones like that, they emulated it. Here now they're taking it a step further. On top of that, they're incorporating the Amazon Fire Store, which isn't a bad idea because Amazon's Fire Store is based on Android, yes, but their store is vetted. So you're not gonna find any of these malicious or nefarious apps in there or these bullshit apps. It's legit stuff in that app store.
Right.
So I like to see them really looking for solutions for these problems. I wish Microsoft would do the same, by the way.
Yeah.
Seriously. But this is interesting. At least it's good on BlackBerry's end that they're doing this. I think to round out the features of this guy, like there's gesture support for that keyboard.
Yeah.
So you can swipe up and down on the screen by grazing the keyboard, which
that was a feature of the last what is it, the 10,
the Q10? No,
yeah.
You couldn't do it with the Q10.
Yes.
Yeah, I never tried it. I have a feeling at work too.
When you're typing, you swipe up the name.
Oh no, that's on the screen.
Right.
No,
but this is on the
is on the keyboard itself. Yeah, the keyboard
Really?
is capacitive. Touch, yeah.
Okay,
It's pretty
then.
dope. It's pretty dope.
I stand corrected.
Yeah.
No, that's pretty dope.
The keyboard is weird looking though.
Yeah, it is. I'm trying to understand how, because BlackBerry keyboards I used to fly through. And I'm sure you did too in YouTube land, but the real estate for the keyboard is so minimal.
But it might be, looking at the videos, it might be the same size as an on-screen keyboard on our phones. But what makes it weird is if you take a phone and when the on-screen keyboard is on, right, it may literally be the same height,
right,
but you're missing the chin,
right, that
you use to hold it.
Yeah.
So essentially, like,
yeah, you're doing that.
I don't know.
And I'm trying to I
don't know if
I'm trying
to fall out your hand, B.
BlackBerry is one of those companies that you really, because everyone, I don't care who you are, has a special place in their heart for BlackBerry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
This is true.
You want this to succeed. You know what I mean? Well, some of the other specs, not to, because I think we're getting a little carried away with this device. First of all, the screen resolution is 1440 by 1440.
Square.
All right, again, square. It's coming with, as far as the camera is concerned, it's a 13 megapixel OIS. So now this is not digital image stabilization. This is full-fledged OIS stabilization. 32 gigs internal, 30 hours of battery life as previously stated. BlackBerry OS 10, they have not updated yet.
No, this is it. 10.3. This is the new one.
Oh, okay. 801 Snapdragon Qualcomm, 2.2 gigs. The GPU is an Adreno 330.
3 gigs of RAM.
3 gigs of RAM. 32 gigabyte flash memory. It has space for SD, expandable to 128. So if you can get your hands on a 128, you can feed this beast of a device with it. USB port 2.0, whatever. Battery life, rear camera, 13 meg,
you're
whatever.
missing that. That explains that battery life. That's the same size of the battery in the 1520.
31, yeah.
No, 34. It's 3450 milliamp battery. That's a big battery.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
That's just about the biggest on the market.
Yeah.
So good job to them. But yeah, listen. They did what they were supposed to do in the specs.
Yeah.
I didn't dive into BlackBerry 10.3 yet, but from what I've heard and the little tidbits that I have read, it continues to get better. The BlackBerry fans are still very happy. You know what I mean? They were like Windows Phone fans were like 2 years ago. You're just crying about apps.
Right.
That's the issue. But it's a very functional OS. I deployed a few of them at work.
Blackberries.
Yeah, the Q10s and the Z10s, and once I walk the users through that initial learning curve with the gestures, they're fine. They actually do like it. A lot of them prefer it to their iPhones. That BlackBerry hub is just God. It's one, like, anything notification or message wise, it's just one threaded view.
Right.
It is insane. That is nice.
I agree.
So, you know what? You remember back in the day when we used to spend like $700 for a Sony Ericsson phone, unlocked from expenses. This reminds me of those days where the Motorola Z70,
Right.
the Sony Ericsson Z600, like the phone is unique. It's nothing like anything else on the market.
Right.
This is that product. Because everything else is a carbon copy of everything else right now.
Basically.
This is that product.
Dude,
It reminds me of that.
There'll never be a Apple lawsuit against BlackBerry
No.
for this.
Like you can walk into a room full of people and pull out this phone, and everyone's like, "Okay," you know what I mean? Like that's kudos to BlackBerry for that. Put Windows Phone on it, but kudos to BlackBerry for that.
They are really holding on to their device. Like they're
trying.
They were, because people was gonna buy it. They talked to people buying them, and they were like, "No, we're going to change CEOs and change CEOs and change CEOs and change CEOs until we get it right
They're
again."
fighting.
Yeah,
I'm rocking with it. Me personally, no, but if you're a BlackBerry fan, I think this thing is the device to own.
stay tuned. There might be a review on this
Yeah, it's
device.
possible. You never know.
Yeah.
Some people treat us good around here. My name is Ramon.
I am Tawan.
We out of here.
Pieces.